Hey everyone, hope you're really well. Well, in this 3-minute clip on how to be highly skilled and deeply formed, I want to talk a little bit about the power of a personal invitation. And why is this important? Is because very simply, a personal invitation is the difference between an average and an extraordinary church. In other words, if we want to have an effective transformational church, we need to develop within our churches a personal invitation culture. Now, the problem for most of us is that we tend to use corporate mechanisms to do all of the inviting into various elements of our church life. Think of it like this. If we need people in our children's church or in our youth ministry, or if we need more people involved in connect groups or whatever it might be, we typically use a corporate mechanism to invite them. So it might even be something like a audiovisual presentation, a news slot that we have, or announcements. And there's a place for that. Absolutely, there is a place for that. The problem, though, is for greater success, a personal invitation is even better. So if we want greater uptake, if we want a greater commitment level to be formed throughout everything that we do, a personal invitation changes the game. In other words, if we're looking for someone, for example, in our youth ministry, we can train people within our teams to communicate differently. Something like this. We could say to our volunteer base, hey, I love serving in our children's ministry, or I love serving in our youth ministry, and it would be brilliant if you would want to serve with me in that ministry. There's a difference between a random generic invitation and a personal one. So if you and I are willing to make a personal invitation, things can change. So here's just 2 ways we can entrench or instill a personal invite culture in our church life. The first thing we need to do is train our leaders and volunteers to make a personal invite a habit. And every single day, every single service, no matter where we are, train our teams, encourage our teams, and celebrate our teams as they invite personally. Let it no longer be these things that we wait for something else to do, or someone to go to a welcome center or an info counter, or someone to fill in a form, or to find some QR code to scan. No, let's get into that habit, that point of inviting people every single time. The more we invite, the greater the response. And of course, then there's the second area. The second thing that we can do is make sure that we entrench this personal invite culture into the church at large. So not just our leaders and volunteers, not just our core team and staff, but every single person in the church. Well, this means that we need to reference this invite culture regularly, preach into it, speak into it in staff meetings, speak into it in team meetings, and encouraging others. Because the more we celebrate an invite culture, the more it forms. And of course, the more we do this, the greater the results that follow. So can I encourage each and every one of us to make a personal invitation a habit for us as leaders, and then to train our staff and then our volunteers to do just that. And the more we invite, the more we'll grow. Bottom line is, a personal invite helps our churches grow. Our growth depends on it.